I'm watching my my girlfriend play the new Pokemon as I'm attending this event here. It's quite amusing.
Oh, I gotta download that later.
Yeah.
I'm over here feeling extreme FOMO looking at these ancestral humans and all of the Twitter sentiment.
Oh yeah, I saw something that they were like popping off or something. They like #1 sales on NFT Key and stuff.
Boys,
What happened?
if you don't own any blue chips, this goes to everybody in the audience. Go pick up some Fantom NFT blue chips.
Which ones do you recommend?
Something's happening right now. It's a shift.
Yeah. I've seen the beardies also, like the floor just got wiped completely.
Something is going down.
What's going down? Come on, give us the details.
He doesn't know. Just
Sir,
something.
I don't know, but I'm telling you, I saw a Twitter sentiment shift. I saw multiple signals yesterday on my alpha feeds, and I'm telling you, I called called Ancestral Humans yesterday. I was gonna go with the Tulip Dao Treasury and purchase a couple at the floor. They were about 400, 390. The floor is now 600.
Is that FTM or dollars?
This is yesterday. Fantom.
If you speak about NFTs and we say a number, it's Fantom. Yeah.
Yeah, in FTM.
It's crazy.
That's 24 hours, you know. So, and I'm seeing more sentiment today. This is cross-chain people like Ethereum NFT buyers.
Yep, it's kind of crazy.
So we're seeing.
I'm glad to see more people in the space. That's for sure.
We saw the TVL come first, right? And then that starts getting people looking at the ecosystem and what is being slept on in the ecosystem, and then they find the NFTs and they, you know, it's just trickled down.
Actually, it's kind of impressive what Fantom NFTs have been doing. The amount of growth that we've had, pretty cool.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Like we're developing something, or we have developed something with a Diversify as well for NFT staking.
I think it's really in fashion right now, right? I think
yeah.
everyone's trying to get on it, get the NFT hype.
But it's not even about that. Like for me personally, I'm an artist, and like NFTs are just so huge, right? Like it's so huge. Like the potential, you can do so much there, and with DeFi, like you know, we just talked about the potential of DeFi in general, and it's going to be the future, and this is just the start, right? So
yeah, and I think we're gonna start seeing more and more cool stuff happening. I think I even saw like a concept. It's not a real project, not launched yet at least, but it was like a concept of where you can buy the deed of house as an NFT. And I mean, when you start getting into things like that, where it has a real world impactful application, it's just, you know, it's really cool. It makes me wonder where it can go.
It's gonna be the future. Go ahead, Meadow.
I was going to say that was my favorite analogy for what an NFT is ever. It's a marriage certificate, right? Yeah, are you married? Well, not until you have the piece of paper that says you're married. That's an NFT.
Ancestral Human floor is now 800 FTM. FYI.
I want to cry for not getting one. Should have gotten a few.
Well, it should have joined the Tulip Dao last night and it got that alpha. Damn it.
Yeah, I called it on stream yesterday too, live streaming, and I was just like, dude, I feel it in my bones, man. Like it's happening.
I just try to be careful with NFTs because I suck at getting them. I'm afraid of getting them stuck in my wallet, so I don't usually fuck with them too much unless I really like the NFT, because I'm terrible at picking them.
Oh, dude, you should check out FantomSquad NFTs for sure. Sick bats. They're doing something for charity as well. Sorry, I had to do it.
It's actually kind of funny because I'm not the biggest NFT person in the world, right? I'm more on the diversify side, but I've loved these bats. Well, they're cool art, but I just like the ability to be able to stake them. And then DarkMatterDeFi is doing the same thing, and they're, you know, we've got a pool over there, so just looking forward to a lot of collabs and bringing the DeFi and the actual like earning and utility to NFTs. That's what I'm excited about. And then the GameFi stuff that's happening too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of cool applications they can do right now. We're gonna start seeing a lot more. Even we're getting involved.
Somebody say video games.
Yeah. It's also something I personally want to tackle with NFTs in the future. But we have to keep in mind like scope of projects, right? Because that's something that can get out of hand really fast. You can have all these crazy ideas and you can start something and then, oh, let's add this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And then all of a sudden you're entangled in like a 2-year long project. You didn't realize you like planned it in for like, oh, quick 3 months project.
Master of none.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing Tomb Heads and all those NFTs are going to blow up too. I mean, what's the next blue chip to blow up?
Kek.
I will say that NFT collectors, they tend to go for, there's certain things they go for, right? The blue chips that are popular, and then there's Genesis NFTs. They're like the earliest ones on the blockchain. The first NFT collection, I think it was Fantoms. Watch out for like the Fantoms. I have a feeling about the Fantoms.
Oh yeah, when Andre tweeted about the was it PaintSwap? Like the Fantoms were getting swept from the floor already, and that's like just the first wave, right?
I started accumulating as well. Yeah.
I know a few people who have been fond of them for a long time.
That's the
NFT thing.
man.
I'm not an NFT trader by any means, so I'm kind of new to this stuff, but I'm following sentiment. I know I've met many people from the NFT community since coming to Fantom, so trying to learn from them, follow their lead, and there's a lot of people bullish on some of these early ecosystem NFTs as well as the blue chips.
For sure. I think a few of them, like the Magic Cats, for example, they're here to stay. The Birdies as well.
I'm loving all of this, especially like with FantomSquad and a few others, like the DarkMatterDeFi ones. I'm loving the staking NFTs popping up. Give me more of that wherever possible.
Yeah, it's free. Go ahead, Pharaoh. No. You first.
Well, I was gonna say it's really cool when projects can launch their own NFTs, because I think every project can give their own unique twist on them and give them different use cases. So I think it's really cool when projects are launching their own collections.
From a marketing perspective right now too, it's just like you can't really spend money and get any kind of return of investment on it. So it's one of those things like being able to do partner pools and being able to, like DarkMatterDeFi is doing and we're going to be doing, and having all these other NFTs and be able to give them extra utility. It's like, what better marketing is there for an NFT line other than giving the ability to be able to earn kind of a DeFi reward? So we think that's really cool. We were excited to do it.
It's something that I've always wanted to build. So it was definitely, when we determined that was something we were going to build, it was in my mind and I just was dedicated to do it. Moving forward, we are going to be adding quite a few more partner pools for other projects. So all of you guys that are on this panel today, just please, if you're interested in having a pool open, definitely get in contact with myself or Jason, because it not only benefits us, just giving us exposure to your community and also opening up a channel of communication for future partnership collaborations, but it benefits the entire FTM ecosystem and all the users, because I believe it was Tamchy or I forget, Medicine Diversify was saying, we launched our box generals, and if you look on NFT Key, we have not gone below the mint price. Not one sale has gone below the mint price. And that's all due to the fact that you can go and stake those in a pool. and earn some tokens.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like when you guys opened the pool for FantomSquad, like I saw basically 80% of the minted NFTs were staked, almost, and that's crazy if you think about it.
Right, guys, I'm back. So Leroy Jenkins, let's get back in. I hope. So yeah, I've been listening to this conversation, and it's just about NFTs. So let's talk about NFTs, but according to the program. And so once again, I would like to ask the influencer, Fantom Ecologist, what's your take on NFTs on Fantom? How is this market developing on Fantom, and how do you find it?
I love NFTs. Yeah, the Fantom NFT space is absolutely massive at the moment. And as everyone was just kind of saying in the break then, I mean, something has changed even in these last few days. I was just, a couple of days ago, I sold an ancestral human for like 350 Fantom, and I was stoked about it. And now I'm looking at the floor right now, and I'm thinking I'm a complete idiot. But I think that sort of the blue chips leading the way with this price shift and popularity, I think is a really great sign for the entire Fantom NFT sector. And as we were just discussing, there's so much really cool stuff going on. I mean, NFTs aren't just NFTs anymore. They're not just the profile pictures or good art. They are developing amazing utility. The one I like the most is through staking at the moment. So we're just saying with FantomSquad, for example, they've just put it up on Dark Matter. Dark Matter have their ones too, and that sort of NFT staking is popping up all over the place, and that's amazing functionality that's really going to lift those floors and keep people using them. And I think as well that space is getting a lot of attention just in sort of like pop culture and that sort of thing too. And I think with Fantom, it's just the perfect place for NFTs. I mean, I was talking to some friends the other day who are also into crypto a bit, and they were showing off some of their Ethereum NFTs. And it's phenomenal to me that people will pay that sort of gas to mint and to transfer and move them around. I mean, the fact that you can mint for a fraction of a cent and then move them around, even for the giveaway stuff, it makes it so cheap and easy. Moving to ledgers, staking, it's just the best place to have them all. So yeah, it's really great to see so many quality artists and projects really integrating NFTs into how they work. So yeah, I'm feeling very good. I mean, there's always that issue that everyone's discussed in the past around there not being a lot of buyers on Fantom at the moment. So you have those same few hundred people who are getting all of the same NFTs, and that is a bit of a limitation. I think what we're seeing in these last few days is that limitation lifting. I'm seeing a lot of big Twitter accounts and things talking about Fantom NFTs, asking what's good, and yeah, I think this recent surge. I think I just saw on Twitter that PaintSwap had just got the third highest trading volume in all of DeFi or something last night. Something huge like that. So it's obviously picking up, and as someone with a lot of NFTs, I'm here for it. And also, can I just say as well that the honorees, I love them so much. I mean, I'm just so grateful that projects include my Fantom Ecologist character in their collections. And yeah, it's surreal to me that I have probably 40 or 50 honorary NFTs dedicated to me, but I appreciate it so much and love them. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. So now let's hear from a couple of NFT-focused projects. So I'd like Tamchy from FantomSquad to tell us more about NFTs as a technology and what inspires them specifically.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I already talked a little bit about it during the break, but I've been attending a few how do you say this expos about NFTs as well. And the stuff I've been hearing, it's pretty much crazy. Like right now, we're using Spotify, YouTube, and stuff like that. These things, these videos, the music you listen to, it's gonna be NFTs in the future. I can assure you that. because with the royalties, the contracts that are built in for music artists, for example, it's a huge deal in the industry right now that they are not getting paid, for example, or getting paid properly. Because like, you know, when you work with the music labels and stuff like that, they often get scammed, you know, or like their royalties are not getting paid, or they move from a label and the royalties from their music are still to that one company and stuff like that. Once everything is on the blockchain, there is security for them, right? Like every time your music gets streamed, like it could be coded in the contract, hey, these guys get like X amount of percentage or of that stream, or like X amount of X token or something currency for their stream, for example. So that's amazing to me. Like the more I learn about NFTs and DeFi in general, like this stuff is the future and it's just getting started.
Thanks a lot. Another NFT focused project, Raiders. What's your take on NFTs on Fantom?
Yeah, thanks. Man, it's crazy because the amount of utility behind you at NFTs, like a lot of it's kind of come in as just pure arts, but the things that you can do with NFTs are really crazy. I mean, you can store so much information on an NFT. That's something that we're kind of exploring with our game as well. Like, we keep track of all the rewards that are earned by a specific raider. We can track leveling, we can track statistics. I mean, all this stuff can be stored on there. So the possibilities of things you can do with this are really limitless. So I think it's got a great future ahead of it. I think everything, like Tamchy was saying, it'll really be pushed out through NFTs, whether it be movies or music, or, you know, it's just so much easier to distribute an NFT. And one of the things, like everyone's been saying, Fantom's got going for it is the low cost to get involved. Like, you don't really have to have big bags to print up your NFTs. You can get in as a little guy and make some money for your artwork. So, I mean, it's great for incubating small artists to get them started here on the chain. And a lot of that's due to our marketplaces as well, like PaintSwap, Opera House. And these guys do really well for new artists and helping them to get into the space.
Thanks a lot. Now I'm really curious to hear from a guy who openly says that he's been banking his crypto kitties. So Bill from DarkMatterDeFi, please do tell us a bit. You can tell us about your generals or something else about NFTs on Fantom.
Sure. Yeah, so that's kind of a joke I use. You know, honestly, I have 60 crypto kitties, and I remember when they first launched. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun just seeing where everything has gone from all the way from there to here. You know, I own some plots of land in Decentraland. I just read an article and it said that, I don't know the exact figures, but the amount of money pouring into like virtual real estate is astronomical, and they're saying that it's just going to keep growing over every year, and that growth is compounding. So I expect a lot more people, a lot more money to be coming into the NFT industry. I think that the Fantom ecologist said this, and I just want to say the same exact thing, because a lot of people get the impression that NFT is just some piece of artwork, you know. And I think the more these DeFi and NFT platforms improve, the easier it's going to be to realize that it's not just a piece of artwork. It's something bigger than that. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay, thanks. Now I wonder what would Paul would say on behalf of DIA. I know that DIA actually allows minting some NFTs. It's started recently for voting. You can tell more about that. What's the principle?
Yeah, love to. I mean, I personally I'm learning every day when it comes to the NFT space, especially the cultural and community-driven NFTs. We looked at NFTs, I guess, more from a utility perspective, similar to Uniswap, V3LP position, or ENS domains, and we use NFTs basically to create data markets, two-sided, as well as access rights. So by holding the smart contract, so-called DRRs, it's kind of your gateway to using Oracle we kind of wanted to decentralize the entire process and at the same time create incentives to mint new data sets. And by being early, you basically receive a special NFT, which generates yield over time when new people will mint these markets. And the learnings we took when we launched this in May, from a utility perspective, doing this on Ethereum, I mean, it's quite costly, right? So, and this in combination with potentially the ecological footprint really makes me extremely bullish on NFTs on Fantom, seeing that these two things are really addressed: accessibility, and by accessibility, not only making it possible for everyone to participate in something cultural relevant, but to really using NFTs for various utilities. So I think we were mentioning music today. So when NFTs shall be used for music, the transaction costs really need to come down, and so also needs to go. The same needs to happen to the ecological footprint, and I think that's quite exciting on Fantom. And as we're kind of building this out from our alpha version, we're obviously looking into more efficient ways to mint the next generation of DRX. So that's quite fun to see.
Thanks a lot, Paul, for an amazing comment. I'd like to ask Ashyx from DefySwap. So I know that you guys do some NFT staking. Perhaps there's a reason that you have chosen to provide that service. You could elaborate on that.
It's something we're just like the team's currently working on building out, but it's definitely something that's been a heavy focus on the roadmap for the DefySwap team. It's just side of all the scalability and everything else that was previously mentioned, it's just the simple fact that like the NFT community, it's kind of rare in Fantom because everybody who's from around the community, the first thing they'll realize if they're coming in from Ethereum or Binance or wherever is that that the NFT community and the DeFi community are really one and the same. A lot of the times, outside of the big like Basey investors and things like that, I find that DeFi is kind of its own crew. And then you have your own crew of the NFT artist community, and it's really refreshing to see. And I've loved every minute of it in Fantom here. It's one and the same here. You can go into any of the degen chats, and you can find somebody in there who is got multi-million-dollar wallet, and they also are massive NFT maxi, and I absolutely love that. And I think that that's why when DeFi was looking at jumping over here, I strongly suggest that they look into the NFT space as far as staking and whatnot, because it truly is hand in hand, and it's super refreshing to see. And now to see with the advancements and NFT staking coming forward on multiple different platforms. I mean, I think when DarkMatterDeFi there, when you guys were first mentioning that in your roadmap, you were like one of the first. Like there was like nothing, and that feels like forever ago, and it's been not that long at all. And now all of a sudden, boom, 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 here we go, and there's NFT staking all over the place, and it's popping up, and it's awesome, and I love it. And I think it's because of that hand in hand of the two that we're really going to see some awesome advancement even further into the NFT space through Fantom and its scalability.
That's nice, thank you. So I'd like to ask Medicine from Diversify Crypto. So I know that you guys are very close with FantomSquad, so much close that actually I almost appreciate you as one project. So I know that you can also comment on behalf of Diversify Crypto on NFTs about the technology and how DeFi projects can collaborate with the NFT projects.
Yeah, I think it really does give us a unique opportunity for us to all work together. Especially, Raiders, they're going to doing some NFT staking, and DarkMatterDeFi is doing it. We're doing it. And I think the cool thing is we don't necessarily need to compete with each other. We can actually just complement each other. So that NFTs and new NFT launches will have the incentivization and automatically have an audience to go to, and they can say, hey, we're going to create a small partner pool here and a small partner pool there. And it's really just going to help grow the ecosystem and grow exposure to all of our projects, which is something I'm excited about. I mean, aside from that, it's just continuing to make connections in the space. We've met some people from PaintSwap. We've met other people from Opera House. The NFT community here, even in the developers and the marketplaces, they've been really great to work with. And going to somewhere like Ethereum and having OpenSea, it's not going to be as easy. So I think it's worth mentioning at least that I think Fantom has a unique advantage because we've got 3 or 4 really great marketplaces that are actually really great to work with and are accessible. And I hope that continues as the NFT space here continues to get bigger and bigger.
Thanks. Owen, would you tell us something on behalf of SpookySwap about NFTs, maybe the Magic Cats or something else?
Yeah, sure. I think something that hasn't been talked about is, well, one thing is that NFT projects are separating from the more just generative collections that have no utility to NFTs that do have utility. And I think it'll be interesting to see how those end up, overtaking just the standard NFTs. Something I think we're going to see here soon is collateralization of NFTs. I know Tattoo.io is working on that, coming out in a month or so, to where you can get loans on your NFTs. Now that's one thing to get it for a JPEG, but I think we're going to see, actually I know we're going to see here soon, NFTs that represent real items like high-end watches, cars, that kind of thing. And then it'll be really interesting to see the collateralization of those. And imagine buying your $400,000 watch as an NFT and then getting a loan on it. I think that's something that's going to be cool to see. As for Magic Hats, the daily volume for it today is crazy. It's doing really well. I know part of that is due to the planned utility in XBoost staking incentives, but I think also that something's just going on with people buying blue chip NFTs right now.
Awesome, thank you. The last one on this topic I'd like to call is Nazar from OneART. So they are heavily integrated into NFTs. So I'm pretty sure he has something interesting to tell us.
Yeah, thank you, Todd. So actually, as I'm always saying, NFTs as a technology is really early, and the way how NFTs are used right now, so I think it's on the tip of the iceberg. So actually it started with the digital art. So now it's moving to the gaming industry, GameFi, where items are used are represented like NFT. But actually, so it will, previous speakers also said, so it will be moved to the more traditional industries, like music, like real estate, and so on. So actually, now we see that people are buying virtual land in the metaverses in the huge amounts. But just imagine if the real estates, when you can buy the real apartment, for example, for the square meters, for NFTs, backed by the real estate. So this is the way so how NFTs will bring the mass adoption. So, but once again, it's super early. And even big giants like YouTube, for example, they're looking at the way of NFTs. And it's proving that the technology has a huge potential for growth. And when it will be integrated in the big infrastructures, so it will really bring the mass adoption. But actually, the difficulty with NFTs is the user experience, because only very limited amount of people currently using NFTs because it's not affordable for everyone. But actually, if your grandma can't use, if you can't teach your grandma to use NFTs, it will never gonna be mass adopted. But actually, this is what we are focused on. So we are building the infrastructure in the long term, so to make it more accessible to the masses, to the people, and to bring the NFTs to the more traditional industries. But actually, what we see right now is it's also very nice. So how it's developing, how it's growing. And regarding Fantom, so I'm really very happy with the cost of transactions on Fantom. The cost of NFT the speed of transactions. Actually, it's nice. It makes it affordable to people to actually collect NFTs. But the mass adoption will come, for example, like big giants like YouTube will integrate NFTs in their infrastructure. Like, for example, it was announced like they considering to integrate in the merch shelf where like artists who have like big communities like on YouTube, Instagram, and different, for example, social networks can monetize using this technology. It will really great. But first of all, like to make it possible, you need to make it as easy as possible for the people. So, and this is what we are focused on.
Thank you so much. That's a really clever thought.
I kind of want to jump in there for a little bit. I've actually been talking to some people from very very big companies, and they're working with Shopify to make that process a lot easier. As in, you don't even have to know crypto; they actually do all the work for you. They create a wallet for you and stuff. Like the moment you buy an NFT, they create the wallet for you. They send your wallet address and stuff, and a step-by-step guide to your email address, and then you can like log in and see it for yourself. So you don't have to like do the first steps of creating a wallet, getting into crypto, blah 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 blah. Those steps all get skipped for you, and they do it for you essentially.
Yeah.
Kind of
This
amazing.
is the way how to. Yeah, this is the way how to bring masses. Yeah, it's very. Tough.
Yeah, and this is like Shopify and stuff, right? So these are massive companies already.
Yeah. Yeah, so I believe you'll see like a huge adoption of the NFTs in the following year.
Thanks a lot. So let's wrap up this topic on NFTs and let's talk about the future. So where does Fantom leads us? Where it's going to be in 1 year or less? So, and I'd like to. Some people who want to predict future at least at some degree of certainty, they do some technical analysis. So perhaps the first one whom I'd like to ask about where. Okay, so it's metaphorical. But I'd like to ask Jayco from Kek.tools, what's your insight about the immediate future in Fantom and perhaps maybe 1 year ahead of us?
Okay, I mean, of course, we can only guess, so it's all speculative. We don't have a crystal ball to look into the future, but in the short term, I think Fantom probably deserves to be valued similarly to AVAX. So, I mean, you could divide the market caps and get a multiplier in the short term where Fantom might end up. In the long term, though, I think Fantom and AVAX and Solana and Luna and all these other sort of layer 1, layer 2 blockchains will all coexist. I see blockchain as layers, or not blockchain. I see Bitcoin as layer 0, Ethereum as layer 1, and then everything else is sort of stacked on top. Obviously, that changes a little bit as networks like Fantom have adoption on Bitstamp, where they have native network support. So to me, that's when a layer 2 sort of becomes a layer 1 and is more dedicated. But anyways, I think over the coming 6 months to a year, we're probably just going to see crypto markets continue to go up, and I think Fantom's going to be a front runner, and it's going to catch up with AVAX, and then probably sit in the top 15, top 10 with the rest of the other popular layer 1s. But yeah, I think it's going to do very well compared to. I think it's undervalued compared to pretty much every other layer 1. So.
Yeah, we agree. So now I'd like to ask Trading Tulips from Tulip Dao, what's your take on immediate and further future of Fantom?
Right. Yeah. I am very active in the markets. I have been on the fence currently. Obviously, I'm very bullish cryptocurrency overall. Very, very bullish on Fantom and how undervalued it is. But we can't control the overlying markets and what they choose to do. If Bitcoin and the stock market and global markets are tanking, it's not really going to matter how good Fantom is, right? So we're on the verge here. We're bouncing. This could be a dead cat bounce leading up to a resistance point. We seem to have we're teetering on this resistance level right now, and to be fair with you, I'm not convinced that we're going up or down yet. So it's really going to come up to, what's going on around the world, global markets, stock markets, things like that, and what direction things are going to be going from here. But overall, I'm extremely bullish on crypto. I believe within a year, I don't think we're going to have a full-blown bear season if we do go down. And I also don't think Fantom is going to react as badly as a lot of other tokens will when we do go down, if it happens. So, I try to be prepared for all scenarios because I like to maximize my gains, and that's just the way I play things. So overall, extremely bullish. This time next year, we'll probably be at a 2x, I would imagine. But in the short term, we are kind of teetering on a decision point here, where we could be going downwards for months if it does go that direction, or we could be just going extremely parabolic here very soon. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I'm very excited.
Thanks a lot. So I wonder what Daniel from Yoshi.exchange would like to tell us. Any expectations on Fantom?
You mean in a NFT sphere? Or
No, just where does the Fantom ecosystem should lead us during
I
the
guess
next
we should see. I guess we should see some implementations in the governments because there were a lot of talks about how various countries can implement the blockchain and the blockchain technologies in some government projects. And all of this speed of the transactions and the cost of the transactions really allows to build great systems on the top level of the countries, maybe to make some electronic coins for the countries, to make some databases, and it really makes it possible for Fantom to become not only the products for the financial system for users, but also for the citizens and for the countries. So I really see the potential here, and I hope to see some implementations really very soon, because I know there were already some talks and some forces in this, but yeah, kind of this is what I'm interested in really to see in the next following.
Thank you. Let's hear from SpiritSwap. What does the future hold?
Yeah, so as everyone knows, the market is decided by Bitcoin, but I have been seeing some disconnections when it came to the big pumps of FTM. Maybe there will be some free market movements besides Bitcoin. But as you know, governments love to tax crypto, and that may have the negative impact that it will have in the short future. But in the long future, even though they tax it half of the gains, it will be still better than putting your money into banks when it comes to DeFi. So I think that Fantom has a really big future ahead of it. Also with a lot of big brains in the Fantom community and the forerunners of Fantom, I can see nothing but growth in the long term. In the short term, the market will decide its fate, I think.
Thanks a lot. I wonder what would Bill from DarkMatterDeFi say. Bill, are you with us, mate? Okay, maybe he's away for a moment. So let's hear from Tamchy from FantomSquad. What do you expect from Fantom ecosystem the next year or something?
I think most of the things have already been mentioned, honestly. We don't have a glass ball. There is so much stuff that can happen outside of Fantom that we have no control over. Like Tulip mentioned, we have this stuff happening with Russia and other stuff like that, and we have bans happening in China, Russia, all over the place on crypto, and all that stuff affects every single chain or network or token that's around, right? And we don't control that kind of stuff. We can only say, hey, we're doing our best ourselves, but outside of that, we can't predict the future, right? So I'm also bullish on Fantom, of course. That's why we're here. But outside of that, it's like the other guy said, you can't really control it.
Yeah. What about Nazar from OneART? What would you like to add up on that? Perhaps you have some specific expectations on this network in the upcoming months. Oh, have you lost Nazar? Sorry. Apparently he disconnected. Maybe he's in the audience. Let me check. Sorry, the problem is that Discord glitches with so many listeners. Sadly, I cannot see Nazar. Maybe he left us. So let's ask Pharaoh from Scarab Finance.
So, like Tamchy was saying, I think none of us can really try to put our Nostradamus hat and guess what's gonna happen. There's a lot of variables that can still impact us. That said, I will say that I'm extremely bullish on Fantom right now. My strategy is really focused on, I bought this last dip and I'm really focused on just accumulating more Fantom. In fact, that's how I look at my profit. I just look at how much Fantom I gain versus, I don't really care about the dollar value right now. It's true that there's a lot of things that can make us go down in value, and I believe that in short term we're gonna see plenty of dips as it is normal in crypto. You go up, you go down. I think we're gonna see that, but I think DeFi on Fantom is so burgeoning. We're seeing so much pop up. It's really what gives us value. I mean, we can look at Ethereum, and people always say who's going to be the next Ethereum killer. In my opinion, there's never going to be an Ethereum killer because of their DeFi. It's so massive that it's very hard to see, the network failing because it has real value and real services behind it. And this is what we need to see with Fantom, and this is what we're seeing with Fantom. We're not just going to be completely purely speculative because there are services being offered inside of the network. It's true that, most of us are here for the money and are here to make money, but there's real services being offered and there's real value being created. We are creating systems that, exist in the real world, and, a lot of these assets that are popping up are essentially financial derivative assets in the equivalent of that, in the real world. And that means something because it means we're creating real investment tools that have a real impact on how things function inside of the network. I think there's a lot of good things waiting for us. We're the best is yet to come. There are some issues that I see with Fantom centralization. It does worry me a bit, but I think we will be able to overcome those issues. And yeah, I'm overall very bullish on Fantom right now. This is why I'm here, and yeah, I think we have a good future.
Awesome. Cool, mate. So I think Bill is back. So Bill, what do you expect from Fantom in the upcoming months or a year?
Yeah, sorry, I was mid dab. Yeah. So in my opinion, I'm kind of in the team that doesn't. The only thing that's going to crash at all is if Bitcoin crashes completely, right? But I think Fantom has a lot more room for growth than a lot of these other smart chain networks. I get the feeling that I was getting last year when I was building early on the Binance Smart Chain. BNB was about $30 each, and I'm getting the same types of feelings I was then now building in this ecosystem. It's a beautiful thing to be honest, and what draws me in the most, because nobody does know, and if anybody does tell you that they know what's going to happen, they're fucking lying to you. They're big fat liars because they don't know. But the unknown, that's what's always drawn me into this industry and this space, and putting in effort here is the unknown. It's scary and it's a risky thing, but there's a lot of potential, and I think that's the next year for us, is not really knowing, but I see a lot of potential, and that's not financial advice.
Yeah, it's not financial advice, but indeed, I believe most of us, if not all of us here, see that potential and we feel it. Let's ask BeanDoggx from Raiders, what's your expectations?
Well, like I said, over this last year, so much has already changed within the network, and it's really just kind of blown up. But I really think it's just really the beginning. There's a lot of stuff that's currently being developed. If you look at like Fantom Foundation and what they're working with their Fantom virtual machine in order to replace the EVM and make it more scalable, make transactions faster and cheaper. I mean, they're just taking the benefits of Fantom and amplifying them in that way. So I think that's going to be really great. You see a lot of big companies too, like Chainlink, and a lot of other projects that are starting to come over. And I think that's just going to accelerate more and more once people realize just how valuable Fantom is. Chainlink VRF's currently in development to get over here to Fantom. I think that's going to change a lot too, especially for some of these NFT projects, ourselves included. It'll really kind of open things up to make everything a lot more interesting. But I think, yeah, Fantom, you know, it really flexes on all the other chains because we really put the unity in community. Our community is hands down the best that there is. And I think that's something that we really need to reinforce as well, is just keeping a welcoming and just overall nice community for new investors, because we don't want to drive people away like you see with so many other chains. So I'll just leave it with that.
Thanks a lot. So a couple respondents, and then I would like Fantom Ecologists to do a nice, beautiful wrap up. So let's ask Ashyx from DefySwap, what are your expectations for the upcoming months on Fantom?
I think like in the coming month on in general, I think we're super excited for what's to come. I feel like we've it's been said previously, but we're excited to see all these big players come in and see how that kind of molds the environment. I mean, the reason that I stay so bullish on Fantom as well as was just said too, is the simple fact that like the community itself. I mean, every single one of us has all said the exact same thing in one way or another as we talk about why we love this chain. And I think that whales will see the Fantom community as good deal, just straight up. It's a good value for their money, which is awesome. It's scalable, so it can clearly handle the transactions. We haven't seen any outside of the general stuff like lag wise, but we haven't seen outside congestion, any outages or anything like we see on Solana, which is amazing. The other side of it too is that even as these big players come in, and we're starting to see them more and more, what we're still seeing is that the grassroots projects are holding up well, because the OGs around Fantom have acquired a good amount of capital, and they have been able to get to the size that they can support the projects they love, the NFT projects they love, and the chain that they love. And I think there's a certain pride that goes around on Fantom, where it's not as much chain hopping. I mean, obviously we all want to go make our profits and earn where we can, and if there's a chain to do that, we're going to do that. But I think it is the simple fact that we've all said that it's a home base. Fantoms are home base. Fantoms are home base, and I don't think you see that quite as much in other upcoming chains. So I think the combination of our community and the incoming whales that will definitely see it as just like an easy 2x 3x 4x versus the other chains that are equal TVL and value. I think it's going to be a really exciting time coming in the next few months.
Awesome, thank you. I'd like to call for TheDoc from FantOHM Dao. What would you like to say about this?
Yeah, I think in general, there's a lot of growth to happen within Fantom Network, and just the different projects that are popping up and the different innovations, and as a couple other guys have said, the communities here are just really really close and really what's the word I'm looking for? Collaborative, yes. So I think when we start to see some of these sort of underlying technologies appear more, like price oracles and more accessibility, like fiat on ramps and some of the other things that we sort of need to get more and more people. I think it's really going to see an explosion of growth. And accessibility and interoperability for sure are going to be some of the big narratives in the coming years. So I think once we get those things in place and cemented into the ecosystem, I think the growth is going to be really amazing because it's really it's got all of the foundations there. Ready to go, and looking at it from the outside, it's a little bit sort of challenging to get on board for a regular user. So once some of that accessibility stuff's in, I think we're going to see that really take off.
That's awesome. So the last respondent before I'll call Fantom ecologist. So Owen from SpookySwap, would you like to comment on that?
Yes. Yeah. So Fantom the upcoming year, I think what we've seen so far is the effect that Andre can have for Fantom. It can never be understated. When he's in up only mode, it really helps us. And with that said, Solidly could drastically change the landscape for Fantom. Whether it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a dud. But I think it'll be very interesting to see how it affects all the current projects, and if it's going to help bring more TVL like we saw, and if it's going to stay. I think overall you would assume that it's going to be really good for the ecosystem, especially if we do see kind of convex, which I think we will. I think that we'll continue to see more dApps move to Fantom. I talk to them all the time, and they come for the same reasons. A big reason is the fees on Ethereum make them untenable. So they're moving to the hot chain, and with Andre always keeping us kind of in the limelight, especially lately, that helps people choose us. And then once they start working with Fantom Foundation and they start talking to the protocols, they realize that the community is something that does separate us from other blockchains. And then lastly, Fantom Virtual Machine, whether that comes out or not, if it does, I think that will certainly have a lot of hype around it. Whether it puts us back to 1 second finality and under a penny transactions. If it does, then I could easily see us going into the top 15 or top 10 at least. So that's a big factor. If it does come out and it doesn't work how we thought it would, I don't think it'll hurt. So there's so many things that could affect this year. And then you throw in the governments and everything we always have to worry about. So in general, I think we're going to have a very solid, good year. It could be awesome. It could be great.
Awesome, thank you. So before I ask Fantom ecologist to tell his insights and his expectation of Fantom in the next 12 months, I'd like to tell the listeners not to leave right after Fantom ecologist delivers the speech because we have a secret announcement from Bill about a not-for-profit initiative from Fantom. And also after that, I'll be introducing 3 more projects which couldn't be admitted because they asked us too late about being admitted to this event, but they'll be joining us in the open microphone session. So you'll be able to talk to them and with the rest of the remaining project representatives. So you can write your comments or questions on the dedicated channel on Discord. So yeah, now Fantom ecologist, please.
Right, I am back in time. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a huge year. I think, you look at the ridiculous percentage growth that we've had in the last 12 months, and I think that we can't kid ourselves that that's possible again. But I still think that Fantom's got a lot of upward movement with it, and especially like Owen was just saying with FVM, that Fantom virtual machine, I think that's going to be the game changer when we see that. Fact is that we are restricted by EVM at the moment, and we do have some congestion problems when things really heat up, like we saw with the whole TVL wars recently. So I think when that FVM kicks in and we get that true scalability, get those costs back down for the gas when that happens, and we'll see things thrive. I think the other thing that's going to really bring up the growth is how we're seeing a lot more value coming into farmable tokens, things like Beats and LQDR and Spirit and Boo and Parrot, even all of these additional things you can do with your tokens that earn on top of just getting more of them. So I think any of those farmable tokens from the big projects and the upcoming projects, there's going to be a big shift there where I think in the last 12 months, a lot of people have just seen those as farmable tokens that they can just dump for more stables or Fantom or whatever, and they're just rolling everything back in. But these last couple of months, I think that shift has occurred, that people are starting to realize that, hey, these actually may be the most lucrative things to hold. And as you see those emissions curves really drop right down after the first year, a lot of projects have sort of like 2 to 4 year emissions distributions on their farming tokens. Scarcity is going to happen. They're getting harder to get. The APRs are dropping. The amount of them that they're putting out are dropping. So, yeah, I think we might see some huge turnaround there. So that's kind of my pick for what could come up, I reckon. And then I guess the other thing is, we're probably going to see node requirements lower, which will mean more people can get in there and we can become more decentralized, because that's still a valid criticism of the network is the limited number of nodes. I can see that shifting massively this year. And then we've got, some huge, back to that sort of like mainstream pop culture stuff with the metaverse and how everything that's moving. I think that, we've got projects like 8-Bit and others that are really taking it to the next level on Fantom, which I think are perfectly timed to be able to capitalize and attract people who are getting into that sort of thing for the first time. So, yeah, I'm feeling, obviously there's always broader market factors that we can't really pick or play, and Fantom, the price is not necessarily governed solely by Fantom. There's so much more going on, but I think what we've got coming up in the next year is really exciting and definitely sticking around for it.
Awesome. So happy year of the tiger, everyone. Let's hope it brings lots of good news to Fantom ecosystem. Now, I'd like to ask BillCashidy to tell us about that secret not-for-profit initiative on Fantom about 2 minutes, for 2 minutes. So please, Bill.
Sure. Yeah, I won't take too much time here. So just being a part of this, you can see just a perfect example of what we're trying to achieve with this next thing I'm about to announce. But basically, we've formed what we're calling the Fantom Alliance. And this alliance is a group of Fantom projects, a group of Fantom project leaders with similar goals and values in mind. So we aim to form this alliance and bring in projects who can collectively contribute to the growth of the Fantom Opera network. And we're all going to be collaborating and working together on this initiative. There's no main leader or anything. It's just a group of people who kind of have the same goals and ideas in mind. I do believe that the Fantom Alliance it's going to be beneficial not only to the entire network, but each individual project as a whole. So if you're interested in becoming a part of this, at the moment there is no vetting process, but we aren't just going to accept any project. But at the same time, the door's open for anybody. If you need some help in any department of your project, I think that this would be a great resource for you. So yeah, it's called the Fantom Alliance, and we have a lot of people contributing in various different ways. I think that over the next month, you'll see more coming out about the Fantom Alliance, and it'll be a recognizable brand within the entire Fantom ecosystem.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill. So now I'll give the closing speech and then I'll invite several projects. Oh, or you know what? I'll actually like to invite them first and then I'll give the closing speech. So, yeah, so we have Fantom Blobs NFTs, we have Devil Finance, and we have an influencer Tweak896. Okay, let's allow these guys to do the introductions of their projects, and then I'll do the closing speech, and then we'll go to the open microphone
Hello,
session.
hold on, I'm just trying to make sure I can hear myself, or you guys.
Oh, okay, so let's ask Devil Finance to go first with the introduction.
Hey guys, nice to meet you and thank you for this great opportunity. And I'm basically David from Devil Finance team. And first of all, we would like to thank Yoshi.exchange for giving us a voice and opportunity to present ourselves at this great event. And also great and many thanks to Fantom Ecologies for offering some support for our project. So yeah, let's start. For everyone who might not know us, we are a new yield optimizer platform on Fantom. We launched less than a month ago, and we are currently having a bit less than 2 million of total value locked. Our native token is called like Devil, and we are developing here in Hellpits, and we are holding the token for the future to bring many benefits such as dividends eligibility and voting rights, which we think that this is pretty important for the Fantom network. We are a young team that is eager to learn and cooperate, and we are deeply committed to advancing the benefits of decentralized finance and has for humanity such as bringing financial freedom to have up until excluded from the traditional financial systems. We are super excited to see what else lies ahead of the crypto world, and we are honored to be part of it. And we really thank you for this great opportunity once again. And this is all from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the introduction. Let's hear from Fantom Blobs.
Hey guys, my speaker isn't working on my phone, so apologies if things
We can
seem
hear you
convoluted.
very well.
You can't hear me very well?
Very well, yeah, it's good. It's great.
All right. Basically, I have a 3D collection coming out for my 2D blobs, right? The 2D blobs are based off of Andre, love for Andre. We could talk about this more in the general chat if you guys want on how I came up with this idea. But basically, I saw the crazy stuff that was going on when Andre came and how valuable this network could be, especially from a price point coming when it comes to NFTs and Ethereum. I got like a pretty bad experience with that. Lost money just to gas fees, no NFT. So I found Fantom and I got inspired to start creating, and why buy other people's NFTs and I can try to make my own community. And I've seen things like the Bored Ape Yacht Club and, you know, all these other clubs, but there's no real incentive, right? So I was wondering if there was a way I can build a 3D collection that also has a GameFi aspect, mechanics that can keep the market of whatever token that would be able to reward to the holders alive, as well as providing a DEX. So then, you know, people can come and maybe trade peg shares, things like that. I know this is a crazy idea, but that's why I'm here. So I can find people that are willing to try to work on this with me. I do believe that Fantom is where DeFi Kingdoms belongs, but I don't want to copy any RPG or just, you know, copy their contracts. So that's why I'm going out looking for people that have the same interest, that want to help. Please let me know. Thank you. We're still minting. I'd love to see you guys in the Discord. Everyone that mints gets a free blob, by the way. Thank you.
Hey, Fantom Blobs. I actually made some fan art a few days ago from your 3D models that I've seen on Twitter.
That's nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Send that to me, please.
Yeah, I'll drop it in the chat. Give you a moment.
Thank you.
Great. We already see some collaborations forming right on stage. So let's hear from Tweak986 the introduction.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so I've been pretty much with Fantom since the beginning, since the ICO when it was just a ERC coin. And the way it's transformed, it went from being nothing on ERC into, launching a mainnet, but all you could do is stake and send stuff to all the smart contracts and projects. It's just been, mind blowing. I didn't even know what kind of ecosystem I was getting myself into. So the journey has just been incredible. But um, my history, it's based in stocks and trading, and Fantom was one of my big crypto plays. But yeah, I've just followed the community and shared my TA, and just recently started getting involved into the community, just sharing what's going on, because there's just so much going on in Fantom that I feel like people just need to hear about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think every person here, could get involved and start sharing what they hear, good ideas, find projects that are reliable and valid. I think it's just a ton of great opportunities for everyone getting on board.
Awesome, thank you. So here comes my closing speech, but I think it's been a great event, a great meetup. So it's time to wrap up the main part of our Chinese New Year Fantom Projects meetup. I actually wish we called for Guinness Book of Records, because I think it was the biggest online event dedicated to Fantom projects ever. But this event wouldn't be half as great without the efforts and constant mutual support of each of the participating projects. We are glad you to have backing each other up, and this is the reason why Fantom network stays strong, even at very uneasy times when some networks may crumble. In a few minutes, we'll get straight to our open microphone phase. Well, actually, that's it. I think I'll leave the stage to you guys. So be nice. You can. Now I'm referring to the guests, to the listeners. You can use the text channel, which is like on top of our Discord panel called Fantom Project Meetup. You can write any comments or questions to our panelists there, and they can maybe take those questions or discuss something else entirely. So it's up to you guys. So I'll leave you to play with the stage on your own. So thank you very much. I've been your host for this event, and I enjoyed it very much. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you for having us, man. This was really cool.
Yeah, really appreciate it. It's been amazing. We know how much effort you put into this, so thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Ted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ted.
Yeah, well done, man. Thanks very much for having me on.
You're welcome, guys. Just don't be shy. Maybe you want to check some questions or comments which came already. Maybe people are typing new ones right now, or you can discuss anything you want. Perhaps I cut you somewhere during the middle of your explanation, so you can elaborate on some concepts which you wanted to deliver us earlier, and perhaps we can hear some more from 3 projects which couldn't attend the main part. So yeah, it's up to you guys. Ree asks if Hector Dao joined the event. Yes, Hector Dao had to leave early because the representative simply has COVID. So the guy did a great job answering several questions, but then just had to leave. So yeah, we're having some questions already appearing. So yeah. Mhm. You can also communicate in the chat, by the way. I see Tamchy and Devil Finance are typing up something. I'll leave the stage open for as long as you need, guys. Right.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to have a topic of discussion and kind of bounce it around.
Would like to ask a question regarding the NFTs and to implement them in the yield optimizers. If I may ask somebody who has a little bit more experience than me personally, and the question is, do you have any idea? Is it possible to build a yield optimizer like that you use NFTs to gain more API, so you get a better percentage if you have lock them like locking, let's say in vaults, that you lock basically NFTs. You have legendaries, you have like normal items, you have epic NFTs, and with more epic or legendary, there is more API or more percentage which you get out.
Okay, first of all, everything is possible in programming. So let me put that out there. It's all about the scope and if you have the right people to do it. So what you're asking is definitely possible, 100%. It's been done before. You can make it on scale on rarity, or you can just make it that it doesn't matter the rarity, or you can make it so like the more they stake, the higher it goes, or the more they hold. They don't even have to stake it per se. You can make it so that it reads your wallets and just checks how many you have, for example. I think Bill was gonna say they're working on something similar right now.
Yeah, so we're actually building that. We're testing the contracts now, and they work fully, and we just tested it on our front end as well. So basically, what we've done is in our next series that we're releasing, which is later this week, we're going to be doing an additional attribute to each NFT. So there's going to be there'll be like a rarity for the NFT based on the attributes they get. Those are like the items you see, like the generative items you see as far as the artwork goes. But we're going to throw in another attribute, and it's going to be the staking power. So basically, it doesn't matter if you have like a super rare NFT based on the attributes. Your staking power attribute is going to be what determines your staking power in the pool. So, for instance, we're going to have it on a 1 to 10 sliding scale. Basically, if you have a 10 staking power, then you're going to be earning 10x in the staking pool, compared to somebody who has 1 power is going to be earning just normal 1% or 1x. You know, that's the way we've done it. There's definitely numerous different solutions out there. But this is the way we decided to go. And that's coming actually literally within the next week. So.
Thank you for
sorry, guys. Quick announcement. Sorry, I've just forgotten. We have decided to create a Google form from this event. And of course, I'll share the results with all the participating projects because it's like an experiment. We're doing this for the very first time. So I'll put a link to the Google form right now in our dedicated text channel for Fantom Projects Meetup, and everyone is very welcome to complete it. As far as I know, it's actually anonymous, so we just want to hear your feedback and your suggestions. So please do; it's very important for us and for I hope for the whole Fantom ecosystem. I'll put it right now in the dedicated channel and pin it. Thank you. Complete it if you can. Sorry for interrupting. Okay, guys, sorry for interrupting you. Really, so,
it's all good, man. No worries.
I think people are just feeling shy.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like frightened, you know, to ask or to communicate with others because you're so big and all, and yet we are so small. But even though thank you for explanation, and I hope I can join on your platform and maybe stake that what you told me. But I think that it's like DeFi and NFTs that if we are moving towards the integration that like you talked about, like locking NFTs, this is like really cool. It's also like artsy and it's gamifying, and basically I think that most of the people who are also in crypto are really liking games. And one of the most important things what were when I was younger was the Witcher series, and there was the one game which was uh, based basically like NFTs. It's like Vanth, if maybe somebody knows. And this was like my inspirations to going into the NFTs. And I hope that somebody someday will make a card game like Vanth, and that would be amazing.
Hey, for sure, dude. You should also reach out to Meta from our team on Diversify. We also do staking, and then we also have like a rewards token you could be listed on if you're listed on SpookySwap, for example.
Sorry to ask again, but you said on which one to?
Well,
Which platform?
we can do both. We can do Spirit and SpookySwap, but SpookySwap has a little bit lower gas fees on that end for our contract to run through. I'll send you a DM.
Okay, thank you. And this is really nice community, and like I was really frightened when I started to talk, and now I feel really comfortable with you guys, and thank you for like also having me and to give me opportunity to talk and so on. Really pleasure to meet you.
Hey man, I just wanted to say that I'm impressed by the performance of your project so far. Very impressed. Well done.
Yeah, but sometimes, if I may say, like it's not pessimistic or anything, but we had a couple of issues like in the beginning, and we had some like bad feedback from other projects, and I was like all the time feeling like really down. Like, is this gonna last? Will this be only short term? Because we really wanted to be in the long term, and we wanted to like give everything to this project. And yeah, we had a couple of issues, and I think we are doing good for now. But I hope, like, my point of view is like I want to connect with people. I'm really cool, like talking to everybody, and I like this communication between other projects, and I really like complementing other projects and complementing people, and because it warms my heart, and I know that everybody who listens to me when you give somebody a compliment, it's really cool. And we had problems with connecting with people because sometimes they just say, "Yeah, thank you, we don't need this because you're too small." Like it's weird and sad sometimes, but you gotta keep moving, I guess.
Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So we're here to help, and if you need some people to help you out, you're always free to reach out to everyone in this room, I believe, like 100%.
I just want to say, man, that stuff is so normal. There's going to be community feedback. There's going to be negativity. It's going to happen. The important thing is if you care, just keep your head down and keep building and keep working towards what your image is and what you envision, But yeah, the fact that you're sticking with it and you're doing this and you're here and you're doing all this stuff that's big. And just keep at it, man. Keep developing, keep working. If you do that, you stay transparent with the community, it goes a long way.
Yeah, 100%. Like you'll hear a lot of people complain for your project because they lost money in some way or some reason. They might even blame you, right? But it's not your fault. You're doing your best, and it's their decision on when to invest and when not to invest, or when to sell and when not to sell, right? So it's never your own fault unless you rug them. But I'm assuming you won't. So even if your price goes down from your project or whatnot, you just keep building, and you will gain the trust of the people supporting you in the long run, and you will rise up.
the most important thing I think is just having some integrity. If you stick around, if you do your best, if you do everything that's in your power, I don't think anyone can blame you for anything. You don't control price action and you don't control people. It's sometimes the community can be a little difficult when things are going bad, but I think there's a lot of people who also will support you when things are going bad. So it's always a balance, right? It can be a little bit of a double-edged sword. People can go mad if they're losing money, but I think people are understanding if you're doing everything that you can and you stick with them and they know that you're putting your efforts there. Some people are going to be a little bit less understanding and some people are going to be cool with it. It depends. And if you stick around and you put everything you can into it, eventually you get some recognition for it. People notice that you have some integrity, which I think is one of the most important things in this space, because when you invest in a project, it's really more than just the tokenomics, right? It's the team behind it. It's really what matters. If they're incompetent or they're cowards and they're going to run immediately, or if they're the type of people who are going to rug, that's what matters. You can design the most perfect system, but if you run as soon as you have an issue and you rug or do something like that, then it's never going to work, right? So I think it's the most crucial thing is, like I said, it's just being honest with the guys you have in your project and being having the integrity and the dignity to stick up for them, because they're taking a risk for you. That's the least you can do, is do your best.
Thank you for these words. This really helped us, and appreciate the talks and everything. Thank you very much.
Now would be a great time for someone from the community to pitch in and ask a question.
Yeah, or we could talk a little bit about GameFi, because that hasn't been a topic yet. I know Owen has a lot of I know Owen has a lot of to say about that topic, or he can talk a lot about that topic for sure.
Yeah, I might be biased because I've got a GameFi project.
Maybe.
Would love to hear it though. We're doing something ourselves we're dipping our toes ourselves on that world. It's pretty cool, not gonna lie. I like the changes. Sure, would love to hear your input, Owen.
On that note, it actually reminds me, Owen, have you read the white paper I sent you?
How long ago did you send it to me?
I can check for you, but it's probably been like a month or so.
Oh yeah, just ping me again. Sorry.
That's no problem.
No, I'm pretty sure I did look at it. I just wasn't in a position to do anything with it yet.
Yeah. But that's like for in the future anyway. Like you asked about it, but it's not on the immediate roadmap anyway. It was more about reaching out to you for your game with our NFTs.
Right. Yeah. No, I think GameFi is really an interesting space on Fantom. I think especially if Fantom Virtual Machine can come in, because even some of the gas fees, I know on our project we're getting a little high. We had to change. The project I'm talking about is Fantom Armies, and we had to change. That's my project, not SpookySwaps, and we had to change some of our contracts to lower the cost of some of the gas. But we're seeing recently a lot of play to earn games coming with Tank Wars, Supa Foundation. Those are the two that pop into my head. I'm sure there's others.
Wolf and Sheep, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
a big one.
Which was basically a fork, right? I mean,
it was a fork, yeah.
Yeah. And I've never really participated in any of those. I've heard people kind of bashing them that they're not very creative, and I guess the lifetime on those kind of projects aren't very long. I don't know. I'd love to hear someone's opinion on play to earn and how that's going to fit in on Fantom.
So for me personally, like if you read the white paper, you'll know what I'm talking about. Is the first thing should be making it fun, right? If you're making a blockchain game, you want to actually use the technology of blockchain. make it fun. Don't make it like play to earn. Make it like play for fun and like earn as a bonus, maybe, like for the people who are actually into it. Like I hate when like gaming companies, they do like NFTs as a promotional thing and they don't actually do something with the blockchain. It's like the most hateful thing, right? You have these big ass companies like Ubisoft or something, right? I think they did like an NFT line and they got bashed for it hard, and they deserve it because it's like a cash grab on their end, right? If they're doing something like that, because they have the means to make a game on the blockchain. So why just use an NFT as a promotional thing and not something you can use in a game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say on the making games fun. I remember talking to someone and just saying, you know, the future is just like all the plebes just sitting on their computers playing the most mundane, boring game. You know, 80 hours a week to make enough money to get there to buy some bread or something like that. It's like all these games are so dull, and that's what you're trying to do to make a living. You know, you went from being stuck in the office, or you know, our ancestors used to be in a coal mine, and then we're all stuck in the office, and now we're stuck in front of a computer, like, you know, making little animals fight each other or something.
Yeah, like I think Axie Infinity did it pretty well. It looks like a like if I haven't actually played it, but if I look at it, it actually looks kind of fun to play, you know, and you can earn something in return. Or like another example for this is it's not even a blockchain game, but a RuneScape. You have these economies in the world where RuneScape money is worth more money than their actual currency, which is insane.
I
Yeah.
think there. Yeah. Go ahead, Owen.
Oh no, I was just sorry. I was gonna say, you know, that was something that I don't know if you guys are familiar with Death, the devs for that were supposedly making a game that was going to use tokens on the blockchain, and their issue, what really kind of put a wrench in it, is the fact that Steam banned any blockchain games. Now, you know, Steam kind of controls the gaming. I'm interested to see if something that could rival something like Steam comes out that does provide another avenue for big developers to make real blockchain games.
Just imagine this team that's cross chain for blockchain.
I think there's already a project trying to do that. I can't remember their name though. But I think there was a project trying to become the Steam of blockchain games already. And I think there's an issue with these games coming out now, at least, which is they're so grindy. It is like a job. But I think what's crucial right now is for a big developer to launch something that's actually fun that you can play. Like if you had like GTA 5 launching something something, you know, blockchain related, you have play with NFTs and things like that. That would be really cool, and I think people will play it a lot because it's just fun and it's a good game. And instead, we have like these grindy games that almost feel like a job that you're playing. And yeah, sure, you get something out of it, but if playing the game becomes a fucking work, then I would rather just work and make more money.
May I just ask you something regarding this game? If you maybe once in a lifetime or somebody played WoW, so World of Warcraft, and you know it's like from 2004 the game is already was developed and so on and so on, and it's constant grind. But what if you produce like a WoW and you got items there like epics and so, and you put that NFTs in, and this would be really a proper game. You can also earn money from it, and for your income or whatever, or passive income, and you have a great time playing with your friends. You know what I mean?
I think a great example is actually I used to play Diablo 3, and they had like the real money auction house. You could almost consider that like one of the first steps toward you could almost consider that like one of the first steps towards like NFTs. You know what I mean? Like together, even with Steam, like they banned it, but like, you know, their marketplace is essentially like also digital wares, right? Like you have CS:GO from Valve and stuff. It's all like you could consider those NFTs essentially.
Yeah, CS:GO, yeah, Dragon Lords and stuff. Yeah, we know that. It's like, yeah.
But I kind of want to touch on the point that Owen said, like the gas fees, right? Like when the virtual machine comes out, like the Fantom virtual machine, that would be great. Like if it actually puts the price down on gas fees, then you could do full on blockchain games because it's not going to cost a lot. But as it's standing right now, you really have to be careful when gas fees goes up because you don't want people to be paying like $0.50 or $1 on each like single action they make in your game. That's kind of insane. So what I'm actually thinking personally is having a game server in between to cache like the moves you do while you're staking your NFT or something like that. So like once you unstake it, it basically saves.
No, yeah, that's a good idea.
But yeah, then you're kind of then you're in the dilemma, right? Is this a blockchain game or not? Because if it's not fully on the blockchain, it's not really on the blockchain. Then you're dependent on something else again. So it's a little bit iffy, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know what really makes blockchain games appealing, other than the fact that you can kind of profit off of it, is my guess. Because there are a lot of limitations, right? Especially with gas fees. If they can go super low, you can do a lot more with it. But I have to imagine that what really is the appealing side of it, I guess, are two things: is the way you can make some funds from it, but also is that it's a space that's appealing to what you're doing. Like we're in crypto, so it's people trying to appeal to us. So we're a lot more forgiving to really shitty games. than, like I was just looking at Cow Swap or something, and I was playing. The cow was jumping over the sandwiches or something. It's obviously a terrible game, but there's no way you would play that outside of blockchain.
Yeah, I think the NFT space is still so new, and like the whole crypto space, even like people have been saying for 10 years, like buy Bitcoin, and even now, I think it's still early. People say it's too late, but things are just starting, and crypto moves super fast, but that doesn't mean anything really. Like it moves fast. Like it means you're still early, and stuff is gonna keep evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving. It's kind of nuts.
I would just like to say one more thing, and it's thanks to everybody who listened and to every project which participated in the meet. It was like really, really a wonderful experience. I learned something from it for sure, and I will for sure also like communicate that with my team and get them to know that Fantom is the next step in the DeFi and also the leading platform. What I think also it is, for sure it is. And once again, thank you, and it was a pleasure meeting you all. And I hope we can collaborate in the future. And I wish you really all well and have a nice day or evening. And yeah, good night from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to thank everyone for showing up, and again, thank you, Ted and Yoshi, for hosting the event. I think it's amazing we can do something like this and get so many people together here. It's 12 a.m. for me, so I'm also gonna head off right now. But I want to say thank you again. I appreciate it so much. Also, FantomSquad is still minting. Check it out.
See ya. Yeah, go ahead and ping me. That's fine. So I'll go ahead and be going as well. Feel free to reach out if you ever want, if you have something you want to bring to SpookySwap or you have questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to me. And if it's a case of where I haven't responded in a couple of days or something, feel free to re-ping me. I get a lot of requests. So, and thanks to Yoshi.exchange for hosting this. And I'll see you guys around.